Hey guys, what's up? It is stinking like 86 degrees. It feels like 1,000 degrees out here right now. It is hot and humid. But we're gonna get our first round shots off for today. Our first round shot, cold bore shot, whatever I'm trying to say. We're gonna do that real quick. We're gonna be using the Glock 48 iron sights, the Tyrant Design CNC mag extension, but we really only need one round. Drawing appendix out at whatever that thing is, 15 yards or 7 yards, whatever it is. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. First round. There you go. A little bit like right here if he was wearing body armor. 164. Shazam. That is my cold turkey cold start. Start up the engines. Now let's get to shooting, and we're gonna lose about 10 pounds of sweat here in a little bit. So stay tuned. Let's do this thing. Range report. This was really good. It was hot today. It was actually pretty hot. But the main things we came in here to work on are this feller. You need to figure out a nice, cool name for it. The 11.5-inch sucker with newly acquired suppressor. Pretty cool. We worked on a couple bugs with it. It was not locking back on the last round, even suppressed, which is kind of like a big, whoa, that's kind of weird. Till I realized I was using a extra power Sprinko blue spring and an H2 buffer. Well, you don't need all that extra stuff. No wonder it was shooting so smooth. It wasn't locking back. It never had any cycling issues, but anyway, so we worked that out, and now we're using some different stuff in here. That was one of the reasons I wanted to come out here and work on this guy, to get it tuned in, because I want this guy to be tuned in with the best pieces and parts that I can acquire, that I can use to fit a specific purpose. And a specific purpose, kind of an oxymoron, and I'm going to do a full like video thing on this whenever I get it all worked out and everything. But basically, I want this guy to be a medium range rifle, right? Medium between 300 yards and in. At 300 yards, I should be able to take this hunting, basically. That'd be a good way to describe it. I should be able to take this hunting, because most places I hunt, it's within 50 yards, right? Some places I hunt, you can get shots out to 400 yards, 500 yards maybe even. Probably not, but, you know, it's been done. But for me, 300 yards and in, but primarily that 100 yards and whatever competition kind of gun or home defense gun, that's kind of where this guy's niche is. And so I'm putting stuff and things on this guy to make it very usable for that purpose. And locking back on the last round is kind of a big deal. Kind of. Depends on how you look at it. I think it is. So anyway, we worked that out. Something else we worked on. If you watch, who is it? Cowan, I don't know how you say his name, from Sage Dynamics. That's all I know. Cowan from Sage Dynamics. And y'all know what he says after that. He just, like today, released a video before I came out to the range where he was doing an FBI pistol qual without irons, right? So if y'all have been following me very much, you know I've got this Gucci'd up Glock 48. And to get the Glock 48, I didn't have to have the slide milled, right? The slide milled, yeah. I just bought a new one, and so I was able to save my old one, which is just a stock slide. And so I just took the guts out of this guy, put it in this guy, and shot the pistol qual. Did better than I thought I'd do. But that's an interesting thing. That's a video, excuse me, I'll put up sometime too. But that was actually cool. That's an interesting practice, or an exercise. I'd say it's an exercise, not a practice. An interesting exercise to do, to see where you're at, right? Taking optics, you know, because sometimes we get sucked into using like this guy, right? I still carry my wife's, right? 43X with the red dot. Beautiful gun, shoots exceptionally well, right? It will outshoot any shooter that I personally know, right? The gun will, right? If you do your part, it's going to do its part. And it's a red dot, right? And then this guy has actually done pretty stinking well, but he's just got irons until the 507K, if and ever it gets released. That's why I got this slide. But I had a friend of mine teasing me about, you know, you've been using a red dot so long, you know, I wonder how you can do it with irons. Well, I took it a step further, and I did the pistol qual with no irons. It's kind of interesting. So that was fun. That was a fun little thing. And while we were doing that, in addition to doing that, we were testing out the +4 mag extensions by Tyrant Design. So far, they've been good. I think I overcompressed the spring, loading 15 rounds in at one time, and sometimes it'll hiccup, and I only have one of these. It only sent me one, so I have a sample size of one. So I don't know if I got a fluke, if anything else happened. I have no idea, but this was a brand new, it's got dirt or something in it right now, but it's got this is a brand new magazine, right? And then their spring and +4 base pad extension. I had one time, whenever I loaded the gun up, I basically loaded it up, dropped it out, and then it was jammed up, and I just tapped it, you know, on the front, and it fixed itself. So I don't know if I would have fired and that would have shaken the magazine and it would have been fine. I have no idea. I don't remember having feeding issues with it. I do know that I had some feeding issues with the ammo. Winchester ammo is the best ammo you can possibly get if you want to induce a lot of malfunctions and work on clearing your gun, because it shoots okay as far as like whenever it shoots fine, it's accurate depending on what you shoot it out of. But the stuff, they need to put it through a tumbler or something. They need to smooth it out. It is like intentionally gritty. Like the casings are gritty. I don't know what it is about it. Like, I don't get it. I really don't get it. And then sometimes it would be just slightly out of battery, right? And the first time I didn't catch it, I had a light primer strike. And then it was jammed in there really good. I think partially because it's so gritty, it just kind of seizes itself into the chamber, which is really weird. And so I was able to snap it out. And then there were a couple other times whenever I go to shoot and I would notice, I'd look down and I could see that it was just slightly out of battery. Give it a good hammer fist, and it was good. Anyway, Winchester ammo, you gotta just fix it. It is cheap ammo, but come on, just a little bit more QC or something, you'll be fine. Two other little things or whatever that we worked on. I brought this guy back out. I meant to be doing a big old deal on this guy, and then I got sidetracked by getting the MP5 and other things. And I'm still waiting on a couple things. Once I have an Omega 9K coming, hopefully. I mean, yeah, who knows whenever that'll ever get released, if it ever will. But that would make this guy really cool. And so I brought him out again just to test and see. Optics going to need to be changed out. The Bushnell TRS 25s, I've done reviews on them before. They work. They're fine. I actually use them in law enforcement, shamefully enough, and I would not recommend anybody to use them in any kind of serious work ever. Do not do it. Don't. Because even with this guy, and I have two of them, they both act up like this. You'll be shooting, and it'll just go out, and you got to hit it. And I'm sure it's some connectivity issue thing. I mean, I don't know. It's some issue with the battery or whatever, and you thump it, and it'll turn on, and it'll be fine. But you shouldn't do that, all right? These things are really cheap, and if you want to just plink around with it and have fun, okay, we'll go for it. It's going to be frustrating sometimes because you got to hit it, right? On another aspect of similar-sized red dots, I do still have. We kind of shot this guy a little bit, and I'll talk about it later. I do still have this Penty guy, right? And he has worked fine. I haven't had any issues with him losing any kind of zero or going out or whatever. It automatically turns off after so many hours or whatever, which I don't really like that. But for this class of optic in the $20 to $30 range, yeah, that's fine with me. I don't care. That works with me. Whatever. So we just shot around with this guy a little bit. Surprisingly accurate. No issues. No issues at all. We played around with the MP5 a little bit. This guy sits by the bed now. Kind of somewhat has replaced the MP5 as far as a bedside gun. Just because it's smooth. The wife likes it. I like it. It shoots well. I have no issues with it at all. It's smooth. It's nice. It's good and it's comfortable. Even though we did some stuff to the Scorpion to make it a little bit better as a permanent home defense fixture. Now I'm shooting this guy. So that just the firearms in my life are ever evolving and moving on and developing into bigger and better things. But not shout out, I guess, whatever. What am I trying to say? The Strike Industries, right? Which again, I think is a knockoff, a Chinese knockoff. But their mount has held up pretty well. I haven't tried to smash it or bang on it or do anything crazy to it yet. But with this Holosun, for the 507C, with it on here, easy 100-yard shots, 50-yard shots, 5-yard shots, 30-yard shots. It's a nice optic. I just like to run it on the I think it's a 2 MOA dot, not the big ring and the dot, just the dot, and easy all day long kind of stuff. And I can't wait to get this guy suppressed and really test it out. But yeah, this guy's working great. For whatever anybody wants to say about POF MP5s, I really haven't had any issues with this thing. With the firearm, with the mags, the KCI mags, any of that. It works. Even with the steel. Holy cow. I think that's it, guys. Other than that, I'm just piddling around and got chased down by a bunny. Yeah, check out one of the videos I'll release here before too long. You'll see that I had this bunny run at me from 70 yards away and come like this close to my foot. Explain that to me. Really weird. Anyway, guys, if you have any questions about any of the stuff you saw here today, I'll probably be doing a video of it, and that's why I'm not delving into specifics on everything. It's just kind of just an overall view of what we did today. Stuff to look forward in the future. We did practice some shooting with this guy. Left, if you have to cant the gun, put it sideways, lay it on its side, whatever. And the impacts, pardon the pun or whatever, of the rounds, right? What that does to the rounds, as far as your point of impact. That was interesting. That was actually pretty telling, pretty cool. Pretty good information to know, especially if you're a gamer, like the tactical games, or if you're a competition shooter. I'm sure you already know this stuff, because it's probably competition shooting 101, know how to shoot the gun from obscure angles. But it was good stuff. So anyway, we just worked on some of that stuff. So if you have any questions about all that, let me know, and I'll do my best to answer and get you answers if I don't know them personally. But that's pretty much it. I'm going to make it home, and it's still 84 degrees. Nice and hot. All right, y'all be good, be safe, and we'll catch you all in the next video.